Welcome to another episode of the Movie Brothers. I'm Ant. This is Kev.
What's up, cuz?
What's up, nephew?
I didn't realize I was doing the episode with Snoop today.
Yeah, man. Very fitting today for the film we were reviewing for you, which is dope. This film is rated R, has a runtime of 1 hour and 43 minutes. It's a drama, comedy thing going on here. In it, Inglewood geek Malcolm navigates the tough streets of his neighborhood while fighting to stay true to himself.
This movie was directed by Famuyiwa. You may not recognize the name, but you probably recognize or have seen his work before if you've seen either The Wood or Brown Sugar. Two movies which I thought were pretty well done.
Yep, enjoy both of those.
This movie stars Shameik Moore, Tony Revolori, Kersey Clemons, and Zoe Kravitz, who could not look any more like her mama Lisa Bonet
all day
than she does in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you say we chop it up, start talking about
Let's
it a little
get
bit?
it, man.
Okay. Many consider the 90s to be the golden age of hip-hop, myself included. You and I were definitely influenced by that period of time. What would you say, Ant, as Ant demonstrates the WAP, what would you say, who would you say, rather, is your most seminal or iconic 90s hip-hop artist?
Man, for me, hands down, I'd have to go with Tupac. Just all the way around. The brother, the artist, stayed true to himself, even to a fault, to his death. No matter what the consequences were, he was going to do his thing. And, you know, that's a rare thing that you see these days. So, yeah, Tupac. Yeah,
you can't go wrong with that particular choice. You could say Biggie as well. For me, I've got two. I would say NWA and Public Enemy, okay? For the reason that they actually removed the scales from my eyes as a young person and kind of awakened me to a world that I didn't know existed, and showed me kind of where I fit into this particular world, okay, that we inhabit today. So, you know, I learned some pretty valuable lessons, you know, I think from those two groups.
Watch out for the police.
Watch out for the po-po. All right. In this film, Famuyiwa, he blends the golden age of hip-hop with today's geek tech culture, okay? The movie does not take place in the 90s. It takes place right here and today, but it focuses on characters who are obsessed with 90s hip-hop culture and music, okay? And so he blends those together, and he creates something that is very visceral. He creates something that is full of pathos, full of energy and inventiveness. I really enjoyed this film, and I really did. Basically, you know, what it really focuses on is that geeks rule the world, even in South Central Los Angeles, okay? Geeks rule the world. And so, you know, this film was a darling of the Sundance Film Festival circuit. Studios were lined up bidding for this film. Sony won out. This film is a really good piece of artistic work.
Well, Kev, I can agree with you on one of those points that you made, and that geeks do rule the world, okay? And absolutely, Rick does a good job with kind of presenting this whole, like you said, modern geek tech thing going on. And it's just cool to see. So to see Shameik Moore portray this character, Malcolm, not to be confused with Shamar Moore, Pretty Boy.
You're going to be upset if you go looking for Shamar.
Yeah, ladies. Different actor, different films. This is Shameik Moore, young up-and-coming actor who did a great job portraying this character. And, you know, we don't get to see that too often. No. Now, the problem that I have, one of the points you made saying this film is inventive, I disagree, because, I mean, here we are. Once again, we have this story of this young black boy being raised by a single mom in the hood. Sound familiar? Yes.
Okay, and while that is true, okay, what it does is it takes a lot of the narrative conventions that we've seen in all of these, you know, types of films, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, so on and so forth. It takes those conventions and it plays with them. So even though you've got a single black mother raising a child, you know, the film doesn't focus on that, nor does it hit you over the head with a sledgehammer, you know, with that particular message, because by all accounts, she's doing a good job raising this child, who is, you know, trying to go to Harvard of all places. So I really didn't really bother me that much.
Okay, yeah, I hear you on that front, but it's kind of one of those things, Kev, where you ever just like it's not just one thing. It's like these little things that just keep stacking up.
Okay.
And so I have that point, and then also in this film, there are no black men that have any redeeming qualities in this movie, which I have a real problem with that.
I will give you that.
I'm like, here we are again. And I mean, and Rick, this is your story. You've written this and directed it. You're a black man. But I guess that's neither here nor there at the end of the day. Your story is your story. But again, this story, no black man that's worth a nickel.
The only black man in this movie who is actually what would you say? Would you say he's successful?
Yeah.
The only successful black man in this film turns out to be the most reprehensible character in the movie. Okay, played by Roger G. Smith, who you are familiar with if you've ever seen Do the Right Thing. He's Mookie, trying to sell his pictures and his photos and everything.
Yeah. So that was tough for me. And then too, it's coming out. This is Father's Day weekend too. So I'm like, come on, man.
So it's just hitting you doubly
hard.
Come on,
man. And man, the word.
Just calm down. It'll be all right.
The word, nigga. Okay, complex word.
Wow.
But this is like nigga to the nth power.
That's a lot of N's.
That's a lot of N words dropped. And I'm not one to say, hey, censor the word. Don't say it. I'm not trying to go there with that. It has its place, okay? But I just felt like it was abused almost to a point to where it was a distraction for me in watching the film. It was used so many times, and that was a struggle, Kev.
Okay. I don't know that I necessarily would go there with you, Ant. I mean, I can understand the use of the word can be alarming when used too much, particularly in films that are shot from a perspective of somebody who doesn't know or should not be using that word. This is not Quentin Tarantino, okay? This is Rick, and Rick knows where the word comes from. But the bottom line is that it doesn't really bother me as much because that's what I think this culture, this youth culture that we're seeing today, that's what they've grown up with. They are influenced heavily by black hip hop culture and things of that nature. They are using the word, quite a bit. It's in all the music that they listen to, so on and so forth. And I've seen kids from all races using it because that's what they listen to and that's what they hear.
Right.
And they don't know where it comes from, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that's the problem that I have with it.
Yeah, no doubt. What is right with this film? Man, Rick, production from front to back, the end, A1, top notch. Cinematography, I loved it. The soundtrack, the music is off the chain.
Kudos for real.
Yes. The cast did an excellent job. Especially a lot of these new faces. Tons of talent, and I'm excited for them.
Right.
And what's going to come down the road.
You love to see new faces doing wonderful work.
Yeah, absolutely. So I loved all of that. And Kev, what do you think? We can throw some points on this thing, man.
Yeah, we can do that.
For me, y'all. I struggled on the fronts with just the storyline, and like I said, been there, done that. But in terms of production, again, top notch, A1. All in all, I give this film a 6 out of 10. It was okay for me. I think there's definitely some things that you can talk about and debate and discuss, and that's always a good thing.
Right. It was more than okay for me. I really enjoyed this film. I really thought that it played around with a lot of the conventions of movies that we've seen before and gave it a slight twist, okay, to make it something that you had not seen before or that you weren't expecting. It addresses the issues such as black identity, stereotypes, the youth culture of drugs, sex, and music, and so on and so forth. It addresses all those things very adeptly. And while not as powerful as movies such as John Singleton's Boys in the Hood or Baby Boy, it is every bit as meaningful, at least it was to me, okay? And I think it celebrates the golden age of hip-hop without painting itself into a corner where it has to be Boys in the Hood Part 2. I give this movie an 8 out of 10.
Okay. All right. There you have it. Be sure to like us on Facebook.
Or follow us on Twitter at The Movie Brothers.
Yep, and make sure you subscribe to this channel, all
and
right?
Please say a prayer for Charleston, South Carolina today.
Yeah. Yeah, for Charleston, South Carolina, and for our country.
Yes.
Man, so much stuff happening right now. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, with that said, to all the men out there, Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Hope you have a wonderful, great weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's up. That's our show. I'm Ant. This is Kev. We are the Movie Brothers, and this is the place, the one and only place where we bring you nothing but the real on the real. Peace.